Hello guys, welcome to the Sewing Archive. In today's tutorial, you'll be learning how to draft a basic long sleeve pattern. To do this, you need to get your drafting paper, a pair of scissors, a pen or a marker, a straight ruler, and a French curve. If you don't have a French curve, you can go ahead and do it with your free hand, but I would advise you use a French curve. In this tutorial, I didn't use a French curve, so you can just do it the way I did it. Now to begin, you want to make sure that the pattern paper you are using to draft the sleeve is a bit wider than your widest measurement, which would be your armhole measurement. My armhole measurement is 16 inches divided by 2, which is 8, but then I made this drafting paper 10.5 inches to give me extra room. Once you have done that, go ahead and mark half an inch at the top of the drafting paper. That will serve as your shoulder line. Once that is done, the next thing you want to do is calculate your cap height. To get your cap height, you would divide your bust measurement by 12 and add 1 inch. My bust measurement is 32 divided by 12 plus 1 inch gave me 3.6 inches. So I went ahead and marked that on my drafting paper. So do the calculation and put in your own measurements. Then you draw a straight line at that point. After this, you go ahead and measure from your shoulder to your elbow and from your shoulder to your wrist, and then mark it on the drafting paper. From my shoulder to my elbow was 13 inches, so I went ahead and marked it on the drafting paper. Then my shoulder to my wrist, 24 inches. I went ahead and marked it there as well. Then you want to take your ruler and draw a straight line from that marking you made. Make sure it's very straight. Do that at the bottom as well. Make sure the ruler is straight while doing this. After you are done doing that, go ahead and measure your armhole circumference. To get your armhole circumference, a formula you can use is your shoulder or back measurement divided by 2. So mine is 16 divided by 2, 8. But then I added 1 inch seam allowance. If you already drafted your bodice, you could just measure the armhole there and put it there. So once that is done, you go ahead to your elbow measurement. My elbow was 9 inches divided by 2 was 4.5. But then I added 1.5 inch allowance. So that gave me 6 inches. That was what I marked there. After that, I measured my wrist. My wrist is 6 inches. 6 inches divided by 2 is 3 inches. Right? And then I added 2 inches sewing allowance, which gave me 5 inches. Now go ahead and do that with your own measurements. Add those sewing allowances to your own measurement. Now next up, you would take your ruler and draw a straight line from the marking you made on your cap height line to your shoulder line. Once you have gotten that line, you would take your tape and you will measure that line. You are measuring this line so that you get the midpoint, right? So to get the midpoint of 10, you would divide 10 by 2. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. So you would mark that 5, and then you would take that marking half an inch upward. Right? See what I'm doing there? And then that 5 you marked, you would also look for the midpoint of that 5. The middle of 5 is 2.5, because 2.5 plus 2.5 is equals to 5, right? So you mark that as well, make it half an inch longer. Then from there, you would connect a line. Just watch how I'm connecting the line. That is where you will connect the curve. See that? So you mark over that bottom line and under the top line. That is for the front sleeve. right? The front part of the sleeve. And then from the back part of the sleeve, you would mark over the top line, the top marking, down to the marking you made there. See that? Go ahead and do that for your own sleeve as well. And then you want to make sure to write front and back so that you would not mistakenly cut it the wrong way. Once you have done that, go ahead and draw a line to connect the entire sleeve together from the elbow to the wrist. Now that that is done, you take your scissors and you would cut out the sleeve. You are going to cut out the back sleeve first, right? You cut out the higher one first. Just watch what I'm doing and follow along. See what I'm doing? Cut the higher part first. And then you open your sleeve pattern and you then cut out that back off from the front. So now the front is deeper than the back, a little deeper than the back. So there you have it. Once you are done doing that, you want to measure the top of your sleeve to make sure it's the same as your armhole. Mine was 19 inches because I added an allowance. So that means I have 1.5 inch allowance on both sides. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you'll know when I post new videos. Bye.